Once upon a time in a small village, there lived a young boy named Ryu. Ryu was known for his mischievous nature and his quick temper. He often got into fights with the other children in the village, and his anger would consume him, leaving him feeling bitter and resentful. One day, Ryu's grandfather noticed his grandson's behavior and decided it was time to teach him an important lesson. Ryu, his grandfather, said one evening as they sat by the river, "I want to share the Zen story with you. It's about the power of forgiveness and how it can transform our lives." Curiosity piqued, Ryu looked up at his grandfather, eager to hear the story. His grandfather began, "Once, there was a farmer who lived in a village not too far from here. This farmer had a beautiful garden that he tended to with love and care. One day, a mischievous rabbit found its way into the garden and began feasting on the farmer's crops. The farmer, filled with anger and frustration, decided to take matters into his own hands. He set up traps and snares to catch the rabbit, but no matter what he tried, the rabbit always managed to escape. The farmer's anger grew with each failed attempt, and he became obsessed with capturing the rabbit. He spent all his time and energy on this futile task, neglecting his garden and his own well-being. Finally, the farmer decided to seek the advice of a wise old Zen master who lived high in the mountains. He made the long journey, climbing steep paths and crossing treacherous rivers, until he reached the master's humble abode. The Zen master listened patiently as the farmer poured out his frustrations. When the farmer finished, the Zen master smiled and said, "My friend, you have forgotten the power of forgiveness. Instead of nurturing anger and resentment, try extending compassion and understanding." The farmer was puzzled by the master's words. "But master," he said, "how can I forgive the rabbit? It has caused me so much pain and loss." The Zen master gently replied, "My dear friend, forgiveness is not about condoning the actions of others or forgetting the hurt they have caused. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. When you forgive, you release the negative emotions that weigh you down and open yourself up to peace and happiness." The farmer nodded, his eyes filled with understanding. He thanked the Zen master and made his way back to the village, determined to practice forgiveness. As he returned to his garden, he noticed that his crops had wilted and withered due to his neglect. He realized that his anger and obsession had caused him to lose sight of what truly mattered. With renewed determination, the farmer began to tend to his garden with love and care. He watered the plants, removed the weeds, and nurtured them back to health. Slowly but surely, the garden bloomed once again, more vibrant and beautiful than ever before. Word of the farmer's miraculous garden spread throughout the village, and people came from far and wide to see its beauty. They marveled at the vibrant flowers, the lush greenery, and the air filled with the sweet scent of nature. The farmer became a symbol of resilience, forgiveness, and the power of transformation. Ryu's eyes widened as he listened to his grandfather's story. He realized that he too had been consumed by anger and resentment, just like the farmer. Deep inside, he yearned for a change in his own life. Inspired by the tale, Ryu decided to embark on a journey of self-discovery, seeking the wisdom of the Zen master. He traveled through forests and crossed rivers, facing numerous challenges along the way. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, he arrived at the Zen master's humble abode. With a humble bow, Ryu introduced himself and shared his struggles with anger and resentment. The Zen master listened attentively, his eyes filled with kindness. "Ryu," he said, "the first step toward forgiveness is to recognize the pain that resides within you. Acknowledge the hurt, but do not let it define you. Just as the farmer tended to his garden, you must nurture your own heart and soul." Ryu took the Zen master's words to heart and spent several days meditating and reflecting on his emotions. He delved deep into the core of his being, confronting the pain that had plagued him for so long. Slowly, he began to let go of his anger, piece by piece, until he felt a sense of lightness and freedom. With a renewed sense of purpose, Ryu returned to his village, eager to apply the lessons he had learned. He sought out those whom he had hurt or fought with in the past and apologized sincerely, asking for their forgiveness. Some were hesitant at first, but they could see the sincerity in Ryu's eyes and gradually began to forgive him. As Ryu's relationships with others healed, he noticed a profound change within himself. He no longer carried the heavy burden of anger and resentment. Instead, he embraced compassion and understanding, knowing that forgiveness was the key to his own happiness. News of Ryu's transformation spread throughout the village, and people began to seek his guidance in dealing with their own conflicts and hurts. Ryu became a symbol of hope and inspiration, teaching others the power of forgiveness and the art of letting go. Years passed, and Ryu continued to live a life of peace and harmony. He became a beloved teacher, sharing the wisdom of forgiveness with all who were willing to listen. His heart was filled with gratitude for the Zen master and his grandfather, who had shown him the path to a fulfilling and meaningful life. And so, the story of Ryu's journey serves as a reminder to us all. No matter how deeply we have been hurt, or how long we have carried the burden of anger and resentment, forgiveness has the power to transform our lives. It frees us from the chains of the past, allowing us to embrace the present with an open heart and a renewed sense of joy. In the end, it is through forgiveness that we find true inner peace. From this story, we have learned several valuable lessons. Number 1, the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a transformative and liberating act. It is not about condoning or forgetting the hurt caused by others, but about releasing ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. By choosing forgiveness, we free ourselves from negative emotions and open the door to peace and happiness. Number 2, compassion and understanding. Rather than nurturing anger and bitterness, it is essential to cultivate compassion and understanding. When we extend empathy to others, we foster healing and build bridges of connection. Understanding that everyone makes mistakes and carries their own pain allows us to approach conflicts with a compassionate heart. Number 3, letting go of negativity. Holding on to anger and resentment only weighs us down and blinds us to the beauty and opportunities that surround us. Just as the farmer's obsession with capturing the rabbit led him to neglect his garden, our own negativity can hinder our growth and happiness. By letting go of negativity, we create space for positivity and personal growth. Number 4, self-reflection and personal growth. The story highlights the importance of self-reflection and introspection. Recognizing and acknowledging our own pain and negative emotions is the first step towards healing and transformation. Taking responsibility for our actions and seeking personal growth allows us to break free from destructive patterns and become better versions of ourselves. Number 5, the ripple effect of forgiveness. Ryu's journey illustrates the profound impact forgiveness can have on our lives and those around us. By choosing forgiveness, Ryu not only transformed his own life, but also became a source of inspiration for others. Forgiveness has a ripple effect, spreading healing and harmony throughout communities and fostering a culture of understanding and compassion. Ultimately, this story reminds us that forgiveness is a powerful tool that allows us to break free from the shackles of resentment and anger. It encourages us to approach life with compassion, understanding, and a willingness to grow. By embracing forgiveness, we can transform ourselves and create a more harmonious and compassionate world.